Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on this look, of course. So we are in prom season, and as you guys can tell in my last video, this is kind of going to be just like a mini series of, you know, different types of tips and tricks you guys can use for prom season or any type of event that's coming up for you. So this video is obviously going to be based on, you know, what I use to keep my foundation on for it to be long lasting. And yeah, so this is what I've got. Obviously this is not what I would wear to prom, but the foundation is definitely something that I would wear. I know it kind of looks wonky in the camera, but real life, it looks good, guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up, and let's just jump into the video. Okay guys, so this video is just gonna be strictly based on skin, like my base of my makeup, just because my last video was mainly focused on my eyes, and with prom you do want a solid, you know, base to put your foundation on and all the steps to that to keep your makeup long lasting through the whole night. So first, of course, I just washed my face with the Clean and Clear Morning Burst, something like that, just to get off the day makeup that I had. And then of course I did moisturize my face with the Garnier Skin Active Hydrating 3-in-1 moisturizer, and it just looks like this. Always hydrate your face with the moisturizer before doing any type of makeup, even if you're gonna put some sort of lotion primer on. Unless it's like complete moisturizer, you want to use a primer. So the primer that I'm going to use for this base is going to be the Professional Pore Primer by Benefit. And I think this is going to be good just because it's very smoothing, and you can feel it. It like makes your whole face really soft. And so it just looks like this. So we're just going to apply that in our T-zone. Anywhere where the pores really stick out, we're going to put this. So just got this on. So you'll see on this channel that I have a lot of minis, so in like the travel size version of products, just because I wanted to try them before I bought the real deal ones, especially because they're more expensive. So I'm just gonna spray my face. So first I did the Professional Primer, and then I'm gonna add the MAC Prep and Prime, so Max Fix Plus, just in the mini version. And I'm gonna spray that all over my face, my blender, and push that into the skin. My hair looks crazy. That's not this video though. So I've tried the Morphe foundation, and I feel like this is like really full coverage. I don't have my review on it yet, just because, like, my opinion on it yet, just because I'm not, like, the first day I used it, it was flawless, and I got so many compliments on it, and it just really smoothed out my face. And then the next day, I mean, it it looked still good. And then the third day, I mean, granted, I did go, you know, somewhere really cold, so maybe that was why I didn't like the cold weather. So I'm just gonna use the Morphe one for this. So I'm just gonna put it behind my hand. This is in the shade F160. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that all over my skin. And with foundation, if you're gonna be using a sponge, you never want to pull on your skin, especially if you have, you know, skin like mine, where I have a lot of texture on my skin. So pretty much what you're doing, if you know, do that, you're just pulling your skin, and it's just pulling up any type of dry skin patches you have, or just anything like that, and it's gonna leave, you'll be able to see what mark you're making. So definitely just pat it on like this. And I know some people use a brush, and if you have that clear skin and you don't have really dry patches on your skin, I'm sure a brush would work really good with this foundation, but for me, I just take a damp sponge. This is a Sonia Kashuk sponge. I'm actually really liking it, maybe better than the Real Techniques. I look like a ghost in the camera, but it'll oxidize, I'm sure. Go in with the Morphe concealer, the Fluidity concealer in the shade C1.25 Soft Matte. It reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape, except not as thick, but it has just as much coverage. So we're really gonna bring it up in here, because if you have dark circles, even if you don't, I mean, if you don't, then I would just take a little bit or none at all. And I go one eye at a time. And I'm going to take my other blender, and I'm just going to blend that out. And the reason I do one eye at a time is because my eyes, like I said, do crease fairly quickly. To set this, I am going to be baking under here just because with Prom, since you want it long lasting, you want to go ahead and bake, especially under your eyes, because that's the first place where it's going to get really oily. So I'm just going to take the Airspun, and this is just in translucent. I don't know how to say translucent, but okay. I'm just going to take it right underneath. And make sure you get really close into that under eye, so like where it usually creases. So I'm just going to get a line right there, right here by my lip, and then my chin. Anywhere you get oily is where you're going to want to bake. If you don't get really oily throughout the day, I would skip baking and just, you know, take it out just as usual. So I'm just going to take it around the rest of my face with my brush. And this is just an Eco Tools blending and bronzing brush thing that I got. It's like a little box thing that I got from TJ Maxx. It was only like $10 and it's super good. It has, so if you didn't have a setting powder, you can always go in with one of these lighter shades if you know you have more yellow undertones. They even have a yellow one. So and then they have the contour and then the highlights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two mixed together to bronze my skin, and then I'll take some contour in just a second. And it's an Eco Tools brush. So I'm just going to mix those two shades. And don't worry about getting messy, because we'll carve it out in just a second. And so now you see the difference. So this looks more carved than this one. The shadow obviously makes that, but when you look at this side, it's more defined. This side's more basic. One right here, and I'm gonna take a different brush, and this is the Naked Smoke. It's one of the ones that you get in the palette. I'm just gonna take this little dense blender brush and take that lighter bronzer, take it right on the line of the nose. And this is just going to make it appear more. I'm going to take the other side of that brush. It's just more blendier, looser brush. I'm just going to blend that out a little bit more than it is. Blushes, but I do always mix my lighter one with my darker highlights. So, yeah. So I'm just going to mix those, tap the excess off. I'm just going to smile, and you'll be able to see where your cheeks are. Because that's just where you're going to put it. You're not going to put it anywhere else but the cheeks, and I also put some on my nose to make it look like I have more color on my skin. But this is the Maybelline New York Expert Wear eyeshadow. It's like a single eyeshadow, and it's in the shade Made for Mocha. It just looks like this. It's just a dark brown. And then of course I have my Morphe eyebrow brush, just kind of an angled skinny brush with a spoolie on the end. So you comb it out. And so I'm just going to take it and make my line. So we're going to go ahead and wipe this powder away because I feel like we've been baking long enough. So I'm just taking this Morphe M406. It's like just one of these fiber brushes. And I'm just going to swipe that away. So next, we're going to go ahead and do our highlight. I am going to use the same, one that we use for the contour. I'm going to mix these two shades together. This is more of like a gold, and this one's more pearl-y. I'm just going to take this just going to take this blender brush by BH Cosmetics. It's just a bigger blender brush. This is kind of the difference. I'm just going to take these two, mix them together, tap off the excess, and then this is just going to go on the top of our cheekbone above where we put the blush and the contour. I'm just going to take that right here. And I do go a little bit into my eyebrow because we're kind of highlighting that eyebrow bone. Mix them together, and I do take it at the top of my eyebrow bone and then top of my forehead just to give it more of a highlight sheen. And do the same on this side. Power Matte Lip Pigment in the shade Starwoman. And it's just the mini version. It's a super pretty step actually. It's going to be the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Just looks like this. You're just going to spray it all over your face. A few more looks coming for prom season. This obviously was dedicated to the face. Just the steps that you would take. So this is what I've got. I really like it. You know, with prom coming up, you really want to know what's good on your skin and what's not good on your skin. So it's definitely a trial and error. It took me a while to figure out what's gonna look good on my skin and, you know, what's not gonna look good on my skin. This camera isn't, it kind of makes me look kind of weird, but guys, in my mirror right here, I look good. I look real good. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.